Good evening, everybody. How are we on this for Australia? Cold, wet, wintry night. I'm here just to touch base with everybody to see how everybody's doing and to also open discussions again for what we will talk about. I don't necessarily know which one I will touch on. I still want to get general people's point of view of what they think of the Watts case, and going forward, there will be other cases I will get people just to give me their input on it. Because after all, having a channel is about what my subscribers want and what I'm able to put out. In breaking news, there was a mini sub or so that went down to go see the wreck of Titanic. That has been missing since Sunday, and that's American time, so it'll be Monday for us here in Australia. Hopefully they are rescued. They're hearing banging, so that might be a good sign that they are still somewhere, but they lost connection to the sub when it got down 2.5 hours down. So, hi, Bubsy. So, only about half an hour before it actually reached Titanic, they lost all connection with them. So, I'm hoping, and I'm really hoping that they are all found alive. Yes. And I just hope that they find them all. There is a father down there with his 19-year-old son. Now, personally, I always thought, how wicked would it be to go down? And this has happened to me quite a few times. First time I said about how I'd love to go on a plane, but knowing my luck, it'll crash into a building or a mountain, and then 9/11 happened. Then I said, how nice would it be to swim with sharks? And then I got several former friends and one current friend sending me videos of hey, sweetheart, of a shark attacking somebody in a fucking cage. Right. So, no. And then it was like, oh, it's okay. Oh, I didn't think it was going to cost, over 500 or so thousand dollars Australian, but, or close to. I thought, oh, how nice would it be to go down and see history? You know what I mean? The wreck of Titanic. And then this shit happens. So from now on, I'm not going to outwardly explain what I want to do with my life. Just 9 out of 10 times, every time I do, something bad happens. So I hope they are, like I said, I hope they are all found. I can't even speak. I'm so cold. Sorry, guys. Oh, sorry, Bubsy. You're the only one in here. And yeah, so I just hope that they are all found. Oxygen, they were given, I think it was 92 hours worth of oxygen, but time is of the essence. Time apparently is running out, but at the same time, they've never ever actually done a test to see how many hours someone can be down there for until oxygen runs out. So they don't know for sure that it actually is around the 92-hour mark that they can be without oxygen. They've never, like I said, they've never done a test, but on the Titan, that was what the machine that they went down in was called. They had been having, you know, issues since they launched them. So in my personal opinion, they shouldn't have even been doing that to start with. So, um, yeah, so do I, Bubsy, but we're all trying to. I hope you're wrong too, and I hope I'm wrong. Um, yeah, it does a little bit. Hey, it's pretty scary because it's like, all those machines and stuff, like they have those ones that they had in the movie, and I know that it was only a movie of Titanic, but they used these machines to go down into the depths of Titanic and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, why can't you use those machines? Because those machines went actually down to the actual wreck of Titanic. And I hope it's not too late. I really hope it's not. Like, that 19-year-old has so much a life ahead of him. But I just hope that they're all found. But like I said, time is of the essence. This is when we really need as much work as we can get to get people, that have the machines that can go that deep, if there are any available. Get them, find them, bring them up to the surface, because that'd be a horrible, horrible way to die. And apparently, the guy who's controlling that machine, it's like a game controller thingy that he was using. And I personally think that the moment that they lost communication with the ship above, that's when they should have straight away pressed that button and gone to the surface straight away. But that's just my personal opinion. They shouldn't have kept on descending. They should have gone to the surface as soon as they lost communication with the ship above. You know what I mean? So I just hope they're found, and I hope they're found sooner rather than later. I personally hope that this isn't just another publicity stunt that some people like to do. But at the end of the day, every single day you wake up, you're at risk for tripping over and hurting yourself or anything like that. So let's just hope that this is not one of those things that they try and cause a publicity stunt, but instead of it being a publicity stunt, it turns into a tragedy. They should be getting whatever they can to try and find them, and that's what they're doing. And it's good to see that other countries apparently are dipping in to offer assistance, and it's just it, I can't even speak tonight, sorry. It's just a tragedy that it took a tragedy like this to bring countries together. It's just sad. Um okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's not many. Hey Kerry, how you doing, sweetheart? Um Hang on, sorry, I'm trying to read something. Oi oi Salavoy. Okay. Don't know what you mean by that, Carrie, but cool. I just hope, like I said, whatever happens, I just hope that we get the outcome that everybody wants, and not our, like, mine and Bubsy's gut instinct is saying we can hopefully ignore that. And hopefully by the time we all wake up tomorrow here in Australia, we've got better news. And hopefully as the night goes on over in America, there's better news, or the day goes on, I hope they get some good news. And yeah, fingers crossed. Anywho, on with today's show, I think. Um, I don't sell. I don't know what that is. I have to get Bubsy to answer that because I can't. I actually haven't heard about that, Bubsy, because I've actually been technically, well, I've been out shopping today. I did my cooking class on Monday, and it was awesome. For those who wanted to know, and I haven't actually been watching the news, so I don't know anything about the alien in Las Vegas. I'm sorry. I'll have to look into that, but I've been just too wrapped up in trying to figure out what's going on with this Titan going down to see the wreck of Titanic. Now, if you all, I can't say if you all remember, that sounds really bad because it was brought out long before even Titanic set sail. I think it was 1910 or 1909. I can't remember. So none of us have got to know the exact date. There was a man who actually wrote a book, and it was entitled Titan. And he actually described the Titanic to a T, just about. And he talked about how, big ship was on its maiden voyage and it hit an iceberg, and, 1,300 or so people died and all that sort of stuff. And that was before Titanic even set sail, or Titanic was even sketched to be built. And yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bubsy. I was like, what the fuck? But no, but like I said, it's what was I saying? Yeah, it's like he wrote that book, and then then in 1912 came around, and then Titanic was built. Well, Titanic was built before 1912, but what I'm saying is that ship set sail and met the same tragedy as that guy who wrote that in the book. And now something called the Titan has gone. Like me personally, I wouldn't have gone in anything close to the name of Titanic. I'm sorry if I'm sounding horrible saying that. I wouldn't. Yeah, apparently they're building a new Titanic ship, like to suit it to a T, and it's going to do the maiden voyage. And apparently, I think I can be wrong, so forgive me if I am wrong. I think it's costing over $1 billion to make, like $1 billion. Now, my thought on that is that imagine what you can do. Like, obviously, if you're a billionaire, it doesn't really fucking matter what you do with just a single billion. But think about how many things you can do for people that are less fortunate, like the homeless, the people that are returning from war and all that sort of stuff. Imagine what you can do with that $1 billion, you know what I mean? Like, it makes me angry when there's all these rich people out there who um apparently they're yeah, I found out about that about 10 years ago, about 10 months ago, I think. But it just makes, like I said, it makes me angry that there's people out there who would rather spend that money on that and more or less tempt fate, in my definition. That's my personal opinion. I'm sorry if everyone thinks I'm a bitch for that, but so be it. But the thing is, though, what are they hoping to achieve by rebuilding the Titanic? There are ships out there these days that are so much bigger than Titanic was, and believe it or not, more luxurious. Why isn't this thing just automatically scrolling up? Like $1 billion. You think about how many places they can build for the homeless, the victims of crime, regardless of what the crime is, victims of crime, or building like places for people who are returning from war and have seen some horrific, horrible shit. They can go there and they can recuperate, like their families and stuff can go visit them and all that sort of stuff. And I know there's hospitals for that sort of stuff, but these people, you think about it, you go into hospital, you're getting your head straight, or you're getting yourself fixed up and you can go on home. But once you come home and from war, apart from a few like hallelujahs, you're home, or apart from a few salutes and stuff, what is actually out there to help the war people who are returning from war? What was now, this is being totally honest, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a bitch, but what is actually out there to help the psychological damage that war does to these young people or any person that goes to war? What kind of help is out there for them to be able to feel as though that they can? You think about it, you commit a crime and you go to jail. Some people, I won't mention names obviously, but there are some people who deserve to be in jail, and their jail cell should be a hole in the fucking ground and then covered over with wet cement. Now, the thing I'm saying with that is that they get medical, they get fucking 3 fucking meals a day. You think about it, if you're a young man at, say, the age of 16, 17, 18, 19 or whatever, and you're going to war, okay, you come back to a whole new way of looking at life. You might become psychotic. I'm not saying that sounds mean, but you might have something fucking in your head that gives you night terrors. Like I was part of a domestic violent relationship. I have been out of it for many, 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 many years, but I still have night terrors. It's fucking weird. But my point being is the fact that instead of building a fucking ship worth $1 billion, how about building homes for people returning from war? And then what happens is you give them counseling, you give them get them back into knowing how to live within them, live with their families and stuff like that. Actually do something world renowned. What are you hoping to achieve by rebuilding a ship that sank after hitting a fucking iceberg? I'm sorry. I just think that that money could be much better spent on things that are worthwhile. You know what I mean? What's going to happen? Oh, what? They're going to recreate Titanic? They're going to spend $1 billion on something to get built just to have it hit an iceberg and it goes down and joins the rest of Titanic, like the original? That's even if it is Titanic that's at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, you know? Like people keep on saying the ships were switched. Titanic wasn't the ship that sank on April 14, 1912. It was actually its sister ship, Olympic. Now, there's a documentary. I keep on saying that I'll do this, but I've got to remember to do it this time. There's a documentary out there that when they're going down and looking at the wreck of it, they find on the hull, I think they call it, of the ship, they found an M and a P. Now, if it was Titanic, last time I spelt Titanic, which was Titanic. Olympic, on the other hand, had an O and a P in it. Olympic. I suck at spelling, so if I'm wrong with that, I apologise. But I do know that Titanic didn't have an M or a P in it. But on the hull of the Titanic, there's letters there. Other letters have fallen off over time, obviously, because it's been a long time. Have fallen off over time, and there's still an M and a P there. So how do you explain that? How do you explain that when people started calling into question that Olympic was Titanic and Titanic was Olympic? How is it when that became a vicious rumor and it started spreading more and more and more? White Star Line pulled Titanic, aka Olympic, from the waters and sold off the parts for scrap metal. You know, and like little things like that. And they're saying that they didn't. Some people are saying that they didn't over insure Titanic. Yeah, they did. They over insured. They doubly insured it because Olympic was so badly damaged in the end they couldn't insure it. So what better way? Send Olympic in Titanic's place, because the lino, I'm going to call it lino because I can't pronounce the other word. The lino in the foyer of Titanic was supposed to be bare. It was just supposed to be straight lino. The weekend before Titanic set sail, it got carpet. Makes you wonder, why would that be? If it, is that because they were trying to hide the wear and tear that Olympic had received? Like little things like that always makes me wonder. And I'm sorry if I'm boring any of you in here, but there's only 3 of you, I think. Hang on. Yep, 3 of you in here. Just all these little speculations. It was, like I said, was Titanic switched? All those pictures that people are still to this day, myself included, collecting of the ship Titanic, are we actually in fact collecting pictures of Olympic? Because you've got to remember though that back in the time when pictures of the inside of Titanic pictures were taken, they weren't of the Titanic, they were of the Olympic. So at the end of the day, we honestly, and this is going to make me sound like an asshole, we honestly do not have a proper idea of what the inside of Titanic looked like. Because like I said just a few moments ago, all the pictures that were taken of the external, and they were trying to present it in magazines as this is the Titanic. It wasn't the Titanic, it was the Olympic. Because they were virtually identical, apart from a few tiny little micro, like there was extra windows at the top deck. I'll say that, top deck. And whereas when it set sail, it had a more uneven appearance or something. So it was very, very weird. But there's lots of conspiracy theories surrounding that. There's conspiracy theories surrounding Elvis Presley. Is he still alive? But no, well, that's just it. We don't know if Elvis Presley is still alive. You know what I mean? Like, he'd be 80-something years old, and how people to this day, I think it's quite funny, how when people say, "Oh, I saw Elvis the other day," and I'm like, you are aware that he wouldn't be the 42-year-old man that you last saw on stage on June 26, 77, right? You do realize he's not going to look like that anymore. He's going to look like an elderly man, probably now sitting in a rocking chair, sucking on a pipe and going, "Shut the fuck up." Like I just say as if he's, if he is alive, just let him go. Like yes, his music was great, but I can't see an 80-something-year-old man getting up there and shaking his hips like Elvis used to. He'll try and shake his pelvis around and probably break a fucking hip. Like, I'm a huge Elvis fan, guys, but come on. And when they saw the picture of him lying in his gravestone, his cousin, apparently, which if Elvis was alive, I think Elvis would be quite pissed at him for it. They said there was no pictures allowed in the funeral, and that was completely fine. That's what the Presley estate wanted, aka Priscilla. That's what she wanted. So, obviously no press were allowed. But he snuck in a camera and took a picture, and he got $17,000 for it, for a picture of Elvis lying in his coffin. And if you watch the Elvis Files on YouTube, you'll find that he goes, "Oh, it looked like he was sweating, or a hairpiece was glued on. His hands were really rough looking because he used to break bricks and wood with his bare hands and stuff." But apparently he managed to hold Elvis's hands, and he goes, and his hands were just as he puts it, just as smooth as a new baby's behind. So, what would you do with the money? Sorry, Bubsy. What would you do with the money, darling? Hey, Matt. Hey, Gal. Sorry, for some chat reason, my chat won't just automatically scroll, so I've got to scroll it. I keep forgetting to do that. Sorry, guys. What would you do with the money, Bubsy? But like I said, it's just as you're if you're still in here, I'll let you answer that, and I'll just keep talking. It comes down to the fact that there are people out there who have more money than sense. You know what I mean? Like they go build all these things, they go do all these things, that there are people out there who could really use it. And then what? They're going to build a ship that was destined to be sunk anyway. Because, why not? Like, I personally, even if I won a ticket, I personally would not want to go on the Titanic remake. So, I don't know. I just think there are people out. Like, I still think that this is probably going to get me in trouble, but I'll say it anyway. I believe there was a conspiracy surrounding John Lennon's death. Yoko always used to walk with John, but this night she walks in front of him, and John Lennon is fatally. I'm not laughing at that. John Lennon's assassinated. You know what I mean? But they found the person who did it, and they always say now that, was it a government setup? Because John Lennon wanted world peace and all this sort of shit. Was it a setup? Was it a setup? And all this sort of stuff. And it's just like, well, come on. I would love to be able to find a conspiracy like the Elvis Presley conspiracy. That gets me every time. And apparently there were rumors that there was a life insurance that wasn't claimed. A YouTuber that I actually really admire, her name is Kendall Ray. She is absolutely awesome. I love it a bit. And she did this thing about Elvis. She did it 3 years ago, but I only found it the other night, which is pretty scary. But she did that, and she was saying about how that particular life insurance that wasn't claimed never existed. And apparently, Elvis, in later years of his life, he went by Aaron with 2 A's. Excuse me. In his earlier career, he went by 1, but then he started going by 2. So, so the misspelling of on his gravestone is nothing to be looking at and going, oh my gosh, hey True Tam, how you doing, sweetheart? So she shot that down. And then she was saying about how there was codeine, a lot of codeine pills were found in Elvis's system. Now, the thing is, though, with that really pisses me off with that is the fact that what a lot of people, and I love when people talk about Elvis, and she turns around and goes, what a lot of you may not know is that Elvis was in the army. Like, really? I knew that. And then she says stuff about how, and I love when people do that. And then when people say, what most people might not know is that Elvis lost his mother. And I'm like, well, yeah. If you're an Elvis fan, you know those two things. But the one thing I do know as fact, personally, because I've read it everywhere, Elvis was allergic to codeine. Now, some people say Elvis died of a drug overdose, self-induced. I'm sorry if this upsets anybody, trigger alert. A drug overdose, right? Some say it was a heart attack. Some say that Elvis had blockage in the main artery to his in the heart vascular system. It was like really blocked up. And then, excuse me. And then some say it was a heart attack. Some, like I said, some say it was unliving himself. And then some people say that he just fainted, didn't wake up, kind of thing. Now, I've heard also that Elvis had, I can't remember where I've seen the interview, so unfortunately I can't put it in my my comments and stuff, but someone even said Elvis had bone cancer. Now, the thing is, though, as a fan, hey, Kitty Witty, hey, Don Don, I personally think that because he went to the dentist prior to the night, I think it was the night he was going into the early hours of the morning when he died. Now the thing is, though, like I said, Elvis, like me, he was, and I am very, very allergic to codeine. I can't have painkillers that have codeine in them because it sets my heart rate off it's like I've just run a marathon. It's like yeah, or had really good sex, like heart pounding like a Cheshire cat kind of thing. Now, the thing is, though, they also say that Elvis had an enlarged heart. Now, the thing is, though, they also say that with Elvis faking his death, there was someone that was a dead bringer to Elvis, and unfortunately, he was passing away from cancer, so they did a body switch. Now, the thing is with that is that the liver testing that Elvis had earlier in 77, right, it did not match the liver that was tested at the time of the autopsy. Now, I can't figure out why that is. I can't figure out why writing analysis have said that the writing on Elvis's death certificate matched the writing on his marriage certificate. Now, I can't answer that. I don't know. But it comes down to the fact that everyone's entitled to their personal and humble opinions. And I invite them. I invite anyone who wants to come up here and on panel with me and talk about Elvis. I'm happy to listen to it. But like I said, there are so many things out there that people think that don't add up. That's why they think that Elvis faked his death. Now, let's just say, for example, he did. Okay. One, that's pretty fucking interesting considering he's been able to basically, stay in hiding regardless of what people have said about him. He's been able to stay quiet. Now, me personally, as you all know who tune in to my lives quite a bit, I am not, nor will I ever be, a Priscilla fan. I do not like her. I don't hate her. But I hate what she's done since Elvis died. And since I personally, because I've done a lot of research, past and present. Now, for some unforsaken reason, she wanted to be buried at Graceland. She is the ex-wife of Elvis. Now, let's just say Elvis did die in 77. Let him rest with his actual family. Priscilla lost the right, in my personal opinion, and you can all kick up a stink and hate me for it, but I personally think that the moment Priscilla, I'm not going to call her Priscilla Presley because she's not a Presley, the moment Priscilla signed on that dotted line of October of 73, now keep in mind that's after he did the Hawaii concert, the one that was broadcast all around the world via satellite. After he did that in January, I believe it was, of 73. She finalised her divorce with Elvis in October of 73. Now, the moment she signed on that dotted line that she wanted that divorce, I personally think, and if you agree, let me know, I personally think that apart from having a daughter with Elvis, she had no right to the Presley name. I tried to watch the movie. I did, but I'm no. Mm-mm. I don't know why. I couldn't get into it. I got up to the part when Tom Hanks goes, I remember I first heard the name Elvis Presley. I just nah. And then I thought, I go to my brother's because my brother Andy, as you all know, he's an Elvis fan, but nowhere near as much as me. He got one scene further than I did, and there was him picking up his phone and playing a game. I'm like, aren't you going to watch the movie? He goes, no. And I think like the guy who played Elvis, no. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, but no. I'm sorry, he was horrible. But that's just my personal opinion. And I'm sorry if anyone disagrees with me. And like I said, you can disagree with me. That's completely fine. Yeah, one day. Make sure you're very, very drunk, Matt. Drunk or high, take your pick. But no, but like I said, it's just there are so many things out there that have people thinking he faked his death. There's people out there who think Tupac Shakur faked his death. There's people out there that are now saying that Princess Diana faked her death. There are people saying Whitney Houston faked her death. The amount of celebrities that they're saying that have faked their death, I'm actually surprised there's actually celebrities actually alive that aren't being conspiralized to say, "Oh, you're dead." You know what I mean? Because it's just disgusting. Like when Whitney Houston passed away, I was devastated because I absolutely loved her. And up until recently, I thought, oh, okay, we're all good, we're all good. And then I found out that bloody Tina Turner passed away. That crushed me because she was such an inspiration for me after what I've gone through in my whole entire existence of life so far. She inspired me the most, if that makes any sense to anyone who knows the Tina Turner backstory. There are people out there who want to try and defame her by saying, "Oh, I never laid a hand on her." Well, I'm sorry, but she was very consistent with what she was saying. And at the end of the day, I don't know if she lied. I don't know. I honestly don't want to know because then that will ruin my way of looking at her when she was alive. Yeah. The only celebrity that I can recall as of like since I can remember, and keep in mind, people, my memory is pretty shit. Okay, the only celebrity death that I can recall that they've never turned around and said they faked their death was Freddie Mercury. I don't think there was ever a conspiracy theory surrounding him and his death. Now, what people go, oh, well, because okay, I'm sorry if this is another trigger, if this upsets anybody, I do apologize. Some people say that when you're sick and you're dying, you can feel when the end is near, so to speak. So, but they said it's just interesting how Freddie Mercury made his announcement that he had AIDS, and then the next day he passed away. There was, from what not my mum, someone once told me that there was a conspiracy surrounding that. Did Freddie Mercury pass away of his own hand, or was it the fact that pneumonia actually, because he had pneumonia at the time of his death as well, and excuse me, sorry, that was a bit loud. Sorry. At the time of his death, they were saying, did he take his own life? Now you got to remember that about a week, 2 weeks, or even up to a month before Freddie Mercury passed away, he stopped all medication. All right. Now, I personally am going to say this, and this is going to probably offend some people. So if it does, again, I apologize. I don't know what it feels like to have HIV. I do not know what it feels like to have AIDS. I do not know if it hurts. You know what I mean? So, because the reason I say that is because all that Freddie was on near the end of his life was, I think it was aspirin or just an over-the-counter pain relief tablet. That's all that Freddie was on. So I don't know if he took that because of the fact that he had like some of his foot missing from one of his feet due to the illness, or because of the pain of that, or it was the virus that he was trying to take painkillers from the pain. So I don't actually know the answer to that. So if anyone, I'm not actually going to say if anyone knows the answer to that, let me know, because I know quite a few people in my life that do have the virus, and I've never ever got the strength or even had the audacity to say to them, well, hey, does it hurt? Because I think that's a really horrible thing to what do you call it, to come across and ask somebody. So I personally would rather just know that, you know, Freddie passed away. Apparently his last words were PP, and then he fell into a coma because he needed to go to obviously PP, he needed to go to the toilet. And yeah, and then when they turned back to talk to him, he was gone. Now, I don't think that Freddie ended his own life to end the suffering. I don't believe he did that. But I do believe it was the virus that got him. And I think that personally, like, when you're spiritual, like Elvis was, like Freddie was, and like countless, and like Tina Turner, you know, there are a lot of people out there who have a spiritual, you know, guidance kind of thing, whether it's Buddhism or whether, I don't know if that's how I pronounce it. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it. But there are a lot of people who have those beliefs that they can tell when the end is coming up. And the fact that Freddie made that announcement that, yes, in fact, he did have AIDS, I think that was very, 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 very brave of him, because that was looked down upon for so many years because there's so many people. Freddie tried to hide, even though he was flamboyant and everything like that on stage, he tried his hardest to hide it. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, well, fortunately, I should say, is that after he made that announcement, God was kind enough to take his boy home. You know what I mean? And I know that probably sounds a bit weird saying it like that, but you know, I just feel so sorry for Freddie Mercury because he was a virtual prisoner in his own home. You know, they had to find a way to get Freddie's body. I was so fucking disgusted when I heard this story. They had to hide ways to get Freddie's body out of the house and into a car, and then take that car to the mortuary without drawing attention from all the paparazzi that was outside of Garden Lodge. They had to find a way to do that. And I think that's really fucking sad that he couldn't even pass away in peace, if that makes sense. And it's just, for me, I find it very, very fucking sad. Is anyone still in here? Sorry. I'm just curious who's in here. Is anybody in here? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to do. Hang on. Okay. If anyone wants to join me on panel, please feel free to click the link. You are very welcome to come up and join me if you want to. You don't have to, but it'd be nice to have some company. I won't be live for much longer, guys. So if I have someone come up, I'll be live for a bit longer. But if not, I shall vamos because my is still killing me. And I don't want to strain it too much. But no, I just think that with all the conspiracy theories about celebrities and stuff like that, like I said, passing away, the one celebrity death that I've never heard a conspiracy theory about is Freddie Mercury. It's actually, and they're the people I know. So, hey, Kerry. Oh, okay. How did it go, Kerry? Kerry, you need to reach out when you feel like that, darling. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But Mike, I've invented my own conspiracy theory. I think Yoko Ono had something to do with John Lennon's death. But there's nothing about him faking his own death either. That's true. Yep. Paul McCartney, I'm getting good. Freddie Mercury and John Lennon are two people that have passed away from an illness and from an assassination that we've never come across. I've never in my whole time I've never come across. It's okay. It's okay, Bubsy. You don't need to apologise, honey. It's all good, honey. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But like I said, it comes down to, John Lennon and Freddie Mercury. I think from what I can personally remember, I don't think there's ever been a conspiracy surrounding both their deaths. There's been conspiracies pretty much about nearly anyone else. Like there's a conspiracy, like I said, about Whitney Houston, Elvis Presley, Prince, Amy Winehouse, so many. It's amazing. I'm getting all these notifications telling me such and such is on Snapchat. Like, when did Snapchat suddenly become popular again? Like, I don't do any kind of communication as far as I can remember. I don't do anything with Snapchat. I have Snapchat there, but I don't do anything with it, if that makes sense. Unless someone messages me on there and they say, found you, I'm like, oh, goody. As in, like, yeah, it's good. But I do, I'm going to think that if I could get up to 1,000 people to follow me on TikTok, I can start going live on TikTok. So, but I'll still do lives on YouTube for sure, because there's a lot of people who don't like TikTok. Yeah, I'm thinking of actually doing that too, Bubsy, but between us lot, it's the only way that my nephews can ever find me. Because I said to them, I'll never get rid of Snapchat for as long as they're out of my life. So I'm keeping it there for that. Oh my God. It is so fucking cold here, guys. Unbelievable. It has been raining nearly all day. And I'm trying, I should have done it today. I told True Tam last night when she was live that I was going to go and make chicken noodle soup. I'm worried because I have chicken like stock, liquid stock, and then I'm worried that I got salt reduced because I don't like the full, powerful fucking like whoa. So I'm thinking if I add that, I can add a cup of water or something to it. Then add these udon noodles that I've got and broken up chicken pieces and these vegetables that I got from the shops. But I'm worried that it won't taste nice. So if anyone out there who knows me and talks to me through Messenger, if you know that is a good, okay way to make soup, chicken noodle, I don't want it to be creamy. I need it to be a clear broth. So if you think what I'm going to be doing sounds okay, please let me know, because I'm freaking out a bit. I don't want to waste food, because wasting food's not an option at the moment. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Carrie, please message me when you need me, and even if you don't, and you just need to vent, please message me and know that I'm here for you no matter what. Please remember that. And that goes for all of you. I haven't. Thank you, Bubsy. You're a sweetheart. Bubsy's a sweetheart. So if any of you give Bubsy shit, you got me to deal with. I'm very protective of everyone in here. But Bubsy's my sister from a different mister. And so I adore her. She is, without going into too much detail, because it's not my place to do that yet. If any of you get to know Bubsy, treat her like a valuable gem, dolls and boys and girls, because she is Wow, I hear what she's been telling me over time, and her strength and her ability to still open her eyes each day and smile. She is the most strongest person this side of the equator that I've ever fucking met. She is a beautiful, 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 beautiful heart. She knows how to make people feel safe when they're talking to her. She knows how to make anyone, like, she could be going through you could be going there. She could be going through the worst shit, like I've been going through a bit of late, and yet somehow, some way, she manages to make me laugh. And so, if any of you out there get to know her, treat her good, because if you don't, hello, you have me to deal with, because I'm very protective. Even though I live in a different state, country, or what, I'm not going to say where she's from, so she could live in a different country from me. But I'm very protective of her. And she is the most bravest person I know and have been speaking to since I pretty much started my YouTube channel. She has been a great support. She's never, if I've bitched about someone, she would talk to me about how it makes her feel. And if, because I respect her so, so much, I don't talk about that person anymore. And I'll continue to respect her. So none of you show Bubsy any disrespect when you're in my chats, because if you do, you're out. Exactly. Tabby will get you. Sorry, I could actually hear you saying that in my head as I read it out. Oh my fucking god, I need that. I need a quilt, guys. It is so fucking cold. Oh my god. But nah, shit happens. I just got to try and budget for one. It's very, very difficult, because I had a house inspection this week and the clean cost me $200. So it's like, fuck. Oh, nah, this weather, I love the winter, but when I'm cold, I absolutely fucking hate it. But yeah, so what else can I talk about tonight apart from the fact I'm fucking cold? Um, yeah, I did my first. Hang on. Oh, you can handle the haters, okay, sweetheart. But just know that I'm here for you, and I'm here for Kerry, and I'm here for all of you, whenever I can be. That is, whenever you let me, I'll be there. But no, the thing is though, like what happened the other day, what was it? Oh yeah, on Monday I started my one-on-one cooking classes, and we got, like, I'm asking the lady who I do the cooking classes with, because it's only one-on-one cooking, which is awesome. I've asked her to hold on to all the recipes until the end of the 10 weeks. So then that way, in the meantime, I can buy a display folder for them. And my advocate, who's going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, helping me get on NDIS, she's Japanese, so she's going to be bringing me some Japanese recipes. So that's going to be great. And so if you have any of you have any special requests for Japanese food, let me know, and I'll message her saying, can you bring recipes for blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah, she can bring them and I can photo them, take a picture, send it to you through Messenger or however. But yeah, now I said this last time, and I haven't heard anything, so I have to say this again. If there is anybody out there who knows of the person who purchased me the quilt cover from Amazon and the phone purse thingamajiggy, if anybody knows of anyone who purchased them, okay, that person, if they still want to remain anonymous, that's completely fine. But what I'm saying is, I haven't personally received them yet. So what I'm curious about is, whoever sent them, can they please check when they are due for delivery to be dropped off at my home? Because if there's things like, I don't get told unless someone messages me going, hey, I bought your sister, then I don't know. and I removed them from my wish list because they were purchased. Now, if anybody out there knows of anybody who purchased them, please send on my thank you a million times over to them. Thank them a lot. But also ask them if they can check when they are due to be delivered. Because the last thing I want to do is say, go to my brother's for a night or two, and then they get delivered. Now, I hope I'm not going to get in trouble with this for saying this. Matt gave me the money to be able to purchase the Dragonfly bag and the earpods. Now, the earpods arrived at my door on a Saturday, which is, for what it's worth, really fucking weird. Now, the thing is, though, since then, I've received the personal alarm. I've received those cooking utensils. So thank you, Kitty Witty. That was very sweet of you to purchase them for me. Thank you. I've received those. But because I've now removed things that have been purchased off my wish list, I'm worried that the person who purchased the phone case and the quilt cover, they need to find a way, or anyone in the chat here now, or anyone who knows who purchased them. Oh, okay. Sorry, Bubsy. I forgot all. Thank you, Bubsy. All right, then I'll add it back to my wish list. Then that's cool because it said that it was purchased and the phone cover. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'll put it back up there then, Bubsy. That's cool. Um, but yeah, check out my wish list. That I've actually it's really stupid of me as I've been told, but I don't care what people say. I have added a few other things. I've added these snap crackle bars that are really yummy, and I loved them heaps when I was a kid, as well as these chocolate cobber things and a few dragonfly things. So if you think that it's stupid of me adding it, it's not your wish list. I honestly don't care what you think. That's my choice to put them up there. So but just know though, if you don't want to Bubsy, do me a favor, sweetie, if you can, check your bank statements to make sure it didn't go through, because I don't want to put it back up there and then it arrives. You know what I mean? So please, if you can, get a chance to, Bubsy, check your bank statements online if you can, and check to make sure that it didn't go through, because I don't want you to think, where did all my money go? And then you find out that, hey, it did go through, but it didn't go through, if that makes sense. All right. Well, like I said, if you can, please check your bank statement just to make sure of it, because if I don't want to put it back up and then it turns out it did go through. So if you can check your bank statement, I'd really appreciate that, Bubsy. But okay, so whoever purchased the phone cover, please let me know, or find someone who you're friends with, and then they can let me know. Oh, okay. All right, then I'll definitely add it back into the list then. That's cool. No worries, Bubsy. But like I said, what was I gonna say? Shit. Yeah. I also still have my PayPal. So if you want to, if you don't want to create an Amazon account, but you do wish to purchase me something off Amazon, please, by all means, just send me a PayPal, and like Matt did, and say this is for these two things, or this is for this one thing, or whatever, and then I will transfer it over to my bank account, and then I'll go onto Amazon and I'll purchase it with the money, and I'll send somehow, uh, if I can, if you're friends with me on Facebook, it's a bonus, because then I can send you the screenshot of the order being placed, like I did with Matt. So yeah, but like I said, if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to send a donation, feel free to, please. Hang on, what? I already did add a quilt. I added a quilt. That's why I was laughing yeah, I did add a quilt. I added a quilt and pillows and a sheet set, so that all my bed is all in purple. The one thing, I know this is going to sound like I'm being a bitch, but the one thing I'm actually surprised that no one purchased around my birthday was the Elvis apron. I'm I'm a sad fuck, I know, and I'm sorry. But that is the one thing I'm absolutely gobsmacked. Hang on, what kind of quilt did I have listed, Bubsy? I can't even remember. But like I said, that's the one thing I'm actually gobsmacked that no one purchased. But I've added a few dragonfly things on there, so but like I said, every so often I add something just to see what happens, but I haven't looked at it for a while, so who knows? There might actually be things that have been purchased again and I haven't removed them. So I do apologize for that. But I will definitely, because every time the quilt that I've got on there is an all seasons quilt and it's allergy asthmatic freeze kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, so I want to try and oh, you see it now? Okay, cool. So that's so like I said, that's the three things. If I could choose my top four things, it would be the sheet set, the quilt, the pillows, and the quilt cover. That is, what I would say would be my top four things because winter is getting colder and colder and colder, guys. Like I don't even want to know what it is in Hope Valley at the moment. I really fucking don't. But we'll carry on. So you've got options: either just sit around and listen, donate to my PayPal, purchase something from my Amazon wish list, or hang on, I'm oh cool, yeah, purple, like please, purple, blue. Okay, Matt, I'm sorry if I spoke out of line, Matt. I'm so sorry, Matt. Before you do go, please forgive me if I overstepped with what I did. But like I said, like that's. I hope I didn't piss him off. Fuck. Sorry, I just get stressed over small things that I shouldn't be, but I am when it comes to potentially hurting a friend. But yeah. So long story short, that's what you could do. Or if you don't want to, like I said, if you don't want to create, and hang on, no worries. Thanks, Bubsy. That's really sweet, and I'll wear them with pride. Matt, please forgive me. I know you're still in here somewhat. Please. I'll email him later. But like I said, I just want people to know that they don't have to do any of those things. It's not something I'm going to beg to do for people to do anymore. But please know that they're the options that you have if you like I said. But if you don't want to create an Amazon account, but you do wish to buy me something from Amazon, please feel free to, like I said, send the money through PayPal and put into the description of what you would like me to purchase with that from Amazon for myself. So I am actually going to call it a night now because I am actually quite tired, even though it's only, my God, it's only nearly 9 o'clock. I am getting old, ladies and gentlemen. I am getting so old. It's fucked up. But I need to go have a hot shower. So then I'm at least a little bit warm for a little bit. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you for everybody who popped in here tonight. I much appreciate the support and the friendship. And just know you are all very, very important to me. I treasure you all. You are all awesome. And like I said, whatever you do, don't change to fit into somebody's life. Let them fit into what your life has been for the X amount of years before they even came into it. Don't change for somebody else. Change because you think it's best to change. But also, don't forget about the people who have been there. Well, you too, Kerry. Love you, sweetheart. And I'm here for you. Just message me if you need me. Um, what was I going to say? Fuck. Yeah. Never ever change for someone who is short term, if that makes sense. You could be living with someone, you could be living estranged from somebody, it doesn't matter. If you, like, for me personally, I've been who I have been for 41 years. Oh, it's lunchtime there. Fuck. And I'm not about to go change to suit what other people think I should be. If there is a time when I want to swear on my panel, I'll swear. If there's times when I want to cry, I won't cry, but I'll try and hold it in. But I'm hoping that all of you know that you all, like I said, you all mean so much to me. And just like I said, you know, if you're with someone who is stopping you from living your life the way you did before they came into it, ask yourself one question: why are you with them? Because I personally know very, very, very well that if you change to suit what somebody else wants, think about who you're abandoning while you're changing into the person what somebody else wants you to be. Don't ever change to suit the narrative of somebody else. You know, don't forget the people who love you and were there for you when you had nobody. Don't forget that there's people out there who want to love you, but aren't sure if they would be part of your life still if they did. Don't change who you are because somebody else doesn't like that person. If you're in a relationship where somebody doesn't like somebody that you hold dear to your heart, don't abandon the person you hold close to your heart. Don't even think of walking away from that person because that person needs you. I have a friend in my life that I need more than anything in my life. But, you know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. I'm not the perfect person. I am the worst person in the world to keep promises and stay this way and stay that way. But at the end of the day, each day is a new day to reinvent yourself. If you're in a relationship and you feel stuck, wake up the next day and reinvent yourself and become single. Don't stay in a relationship because you think it's comfortable. Fuck, I did that for I don't know how many years. You know, if someone's becoming passive aggressive, it's only a matter of time before they completely lose their shit. Don't become that victim. Anyway, I've got to go because I need to go have, like I said, a hot shower, and I need to wash my hair, and I need to do a few other things that no one needs to know about. All right, just remember the links are in the description for PayPal or Amazon. But like I said, have fun looking. I'm going to be re-adding. I'm going to be adding a few other things to it after I get off here. And if there is something that catches your eye, please feel free to purchase it for me. It comes straight to me. But like I said, there's only one thing. I only mentioned what Matt did because I thought it might help people know that if they don't want to create an Amazon account, there's options. And then you can ask Matt how he did it and all that sort of stuff. It's basically put the money in my PayPal right into the description where you can send a, hey, but just know if you put money into my PayPal and you don't add a note that's saying this is for such and such on Amazon, then I'll just spend it on clothes because I need winter clothes too, guys. So feel free to pay attention to that little comment I just said then about how I need clothes. All right, guys, all of you have a wonderful night. And please feel free to message me if you need me. Carrie, Bubsy, Kitty Witty. And Kitty Witty, like I said, thank you so much for ordering that cooking thingy, those utensils. I absolutely love them. So until next time, guys, when I talk more and hopefully my throat isn't hurting, I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, and night. Bye.